Oh, Maddie, what am I going to do for this long car ride?
Well, lucky for you, I brought this book.
Oh, really? What is it called?
The Tempest, written by William Shakespeare in the years 1610 and 1611.
Ew, one of those old books? Seems boring.
Well, actually, it's one of my favorites, and don't judge a book by its age.
Well, I might as well give it a shot, but before we leave, I think I should get a little information about Will.
William Shakespeare was born on April 23, 1564, in Stratford-upon-Avon, United Kingdom. He was born into a loving family consisting of his parents, John and Mary Shakespeare, and his two older belated siblings. His parents decided to keep having children after his birth, having 5 more children for a grand total of 8 children, but only 6 surviving.
At the age of 18 years old, he met the love of his life, Anne Hathaway. Once they were married, they disappeared for a couple of years, known as the Lost Years. It is thought that they were off doing their own thing, being the newlywed couple they were. They had 3 children together, John, Hall, Hamlet, and Judith. Anne and William had 4 grandchildren who all died before having their children of their own, meaning that there were no direct descendants of William himself.
William attended school at King Edward IV School in Stratford-upon-Avon. This is where he learned how to write, which was a major contribution to the success of his 37 plays and the collaboration of even more.
There's a conspiracy that Shakespeare stole the play of the Hamlet to make money off of the play. Shakespeare did not make a lot of money off of his writing, but made up for it by performing his plays in the Globe Theatre. He wrote a lot of plays for very important people, including King Henry V, Richard II, Queen Elizabeth I, and King James I.
While performing at all of Shakespeare's plays, the cast consisted of only men, even if there were women characters. Back then, women were not allowed to act. One could make the inference that some of the more raunchier plays had to be a little awkward for the cast. In our play, The Tempest, consists of Prospero, the father of Miranda and the ex-Duke of Milan, and a magician. Miranda, the daughter of Prospero, Ariel, Prospero's spirit helper, rescued by Prospero from the witch Sycorax, Ferdinand, the son of King of Naples, Alonso. Alonso helped in unseating Prospero as the Duke of Milan. Antonio, Prospero's power-hungry brother. Sebastian, Alonso's aggressive brother. Gonzalo, an honest lord who has helped Prospero and Miranda in the past. And Triculo, the king's jester, and Stefano, the king's butler.
In the play, Prospero, the ex-Duke of Milan, and his daughter Miranda are on an island that they were sent to by Prospero's brother Antonio. On the island with them is Ariel and the Caliban magic spirits of the island. Prospero and his daughter are on the island because his brother Antonio wanted all of the power. Antonio got help from King Alonso, the king of Naples, and Alonso's brother Sebastian. The play begins with a ship carrying Ferdinand, Sebastian, Antonia, Alonso, Gonzalo, and Stefano. They are coming back from a wedding on their way to Italy. Prospero and his daughter Miranda are on the shore of an island nearby when they see a shipwreckage. Prospero then goes on to explain the truth about their past. Prospero says that he caused the wreckage. Prospero planned to get revenge on them when they were on the island. Prospero used the Duke of Milan, but when his jealous brother Antonio worked with Prospero's enemy, the King of Naples, Alonso, he planned to have Prospero and his daughter deserted on an island. They only survived because Alonso was giving them Prospero's magic book, water and food.
The scene we will be acting out is from Act 1, Scene 2, when Prospero explains to his daughter the truth about the whole situation on why they are on the island. 12 years since, Miranda? 12 years since thy father was a Duke of Milan and Prince of Power?
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou was my daughter, and thy father was Duke of Milan, and thou his only hire and princess, no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens, what foul play had we that we came from heaven? Or blessed was we did.
Both, my girl, by foul play and thou saith, where we haven thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds. To think, oh then, that I have turned to you, which is from my remembrance. Please you, my father.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee, mark me, he whom next thyself all of the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time in Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed, in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel, those being all my study. The government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported, and wrapped in secret studies. Thy fast uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most headfully.
Being once perfected, how to grant suits, how to deny them, how to advance, and who the creators that were mine. The creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them, or else new formed them, having both the key of officer and office, at all hearts state to what tune pleased his ear, and now he was. The ivy which he had my princely trunk, and sucked my verdure out, thou tendedst not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me, I thus neglectingly worldly ends and all dedicated. With that which, but by being so retired in my false brother, awakened an evil nature, and my trust like a good parent did beget of him a falsehood in the contrary as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit. A confidence stands bounty being thus lorded, not only with my revenue yielded, but with what my power might else exact, like one who having into truth by telling of it. To credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke. Out of the substitution, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
You tale, sir, would cure deafness?
To have no screen between this part he played, and he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Me poor man, my library, he thinks me now incapable. Confederate so dry he was forsway, with King of Naples subject his correct to his crown and his bent. The dukedom yet unbound, alas poor Milan.
Oh, the heavens.
Mark his condition in the event, then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin.
To think but nobly of my grandmother, good wombs have borne bad sons.
The importance of this part of the play shows that Miranda is gentle, kind, and empathetic. She trusts her father and obeys him. Prospero also comes to tell the full truth about their past. He loves his daughter greatly, and he knows now that their bond is even greater because Miranda still trusts him.
After Prospero comes forward with the truth about who they are, Miranda asks that nobody gets hurt, and Prospero then summons Ariel to get one of the men. Ariel brings Ferdinand and Prospero to Miranda, and Miranda and Ferdinand immediately fall in love.
King Alonso then fears that his son Ferdinand has drowned because he is nowhere to be seen. Then Alonso and the men turn on each other to try and kill each other. Stefano, Tranquillo, and Caliban start talking and agree to steal Prospero's magic book and take over the island.
For the other men, Ariel makes a magical feast appear while Prospero watches over while being invisible. Ariel then accuses the men of what they did 12 years ago, and the men are frightened. Later on, Prospero then realizes how much Ferdinand loves Miranda, and Prospero then calls Greek goddesses to witness their wedding.
During the time that the men are on the island, they do not know that Prospero, Miranda, or Ferdinand are here. To get back to the Caliban and to rest, Prospero has Ariel hang out nice clothes, and then Prospero has an invisible dog bite him.
At the end of the play, Ariel gathers the men for Prospero and reveals himself as Prospero. Prospero scolds the men for what they did and praises Gonzalo for helping him and his daughter get safe to the island 12 years ago. Prospero gives Alonso, and Alonso is happy until he remembers that he hasn't seen his son Ferdinand since the shipwreckage, and he believes that he is dead, but he's really with Miranda and Prospero.
Prospero reveals Ferdinand and Alonso are very grateful. Prospero then releases Stefano, Tranquillo, and Caliban from their tortures and frees Ariel. They all plan to go back to Milan, and Prospero gives up his magic.
A common theme of this play is being power hungry. Not only did Alonso and the other men want to take full control, so did Caliban and his group. Another theme is uniting together. In the play, all the men are on different parts of the island, and they work together to get what they want done. Alonso and his men work together, and so do Caliban and his men. One of the most important themes is betrayal. This ties in with being power hungry also. In the beginning, some of the men turn on each other and try to kill one another. Also, before the play started, Alonso turned on his own brother and niece to take over Milan. Because this is Shakespeare's shortest play, critics say this is one of the easiest plays to understand content-wise. It is also said that this is one of the few plays with a happy ending. We both thought it was also more enjoyable to read because of the happy ending, along with the excitement along the way. We also agreed it was one of the better plays we have read by William Shakespeare because of how easy it was. Also because the plot can be interpreted in many different ways, leaving everyone thinking.